a particularly annoying location they're in because, well, you're seeing me on my smartphone. I'm actually recording it with a second smartphone, and essentially what it is Comcast is hosing me, and I can't even begin to tell you how badly they're hosing me. But they're hosing me in any way, shape, or form, any place better than what they're currently doing. And I am going to be giving them a phone call. Trust me, because I cannot have the situational thing where things are just going south and stuff ain't working. That's not good. We can't have that, and potentially it's going to be a situation where I'm going to be dealing with things and stuff just doesn't sound too particularly great. But you know what? We still need to do the appropriate sound effects. So, um,
Welcome to the freewheeling cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got nothing.
all right, so we are back yet again, and in the room. I would think probably it is probably more appropriately said to be Comedy Cast. I am dealing with the tail end of a cold, so if I start hacking up, all kinds of yummies, Patriot Fever, appreciate you coming on by. And it's kind of really nice. Unfortunately, the way that I'm doing it now is there's actually like the chat actually does a pop up. So when you're doing the smartphone version of the live cast, you actually have a pop up that's reflecting in your phone. Hang on one second here. I just need to check and make sure. It looks like it's got some power. Okay, 83%. It'll run for the perpetuity and all good stuff like that. There. Um, Hopefully, you guys heard like theme music in the background and whatnot. It's really kind of a hodgepodge thing I got going on here, and it is not the way in which I really choose to do these things. However, we find ourselves with the situation in which we find ourselves, and it is what it is. All right, so we are now dealing all kinds of yummies here. I'm just going to start right out and I'm going to say it. Martinez Sasquatch, appreciate you coming on by, brother. I'm just going to say it for what it is. And we know now that monkeypox essentially is really more of a thing, not in the straight community. And it actually might be more of a thing where the monkeypox is, well, there's other things going on. How is monkeypox happening? We now have audio on how it's happening. Sound guy managed to rip a copy off of someplace, and I don't even want to know where he found it from on the interwebs, but here's where the monkeypox is coming from.
Come on, squeal, squeal.
Oh, jeez. No, that's not. No, that's But Do a Guy. Pete But Do a Guy. That's what his name is. Pete But Do a Guy. And I really am cleaning that up. Oh, not enough people seen Clerks too. Martina Sasquatch. Oh yeah, that's fun stuff. Fun stuff. If you guys look over my shoulder here, I do actually now have a Galaxian marquee. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically make a light box, and I want to have a stack of the arcade marquees of my favorite arcade games, and I'll have that lighted up in the background as well. Obviously, I need to build the thing and construct the thing, and it shouldn't be too terrible hard. I mean, I kind of have an idea in my head of what I really want to do, and probably I can put the thing together with like, pop rivets or something along those lines. But what I'm doing right now is I'm using the backup internet service, also known as my Verizon Internet Hub. I actually could use one of my smartphones as like, basically using it as a 4G, server of as such, but no, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, this is statement Aaron of where we found ourselves with the monkeypox. Yeah. Oh man, we now know how it happened. I think he met up with more than a little bit of yeah, I think the monkeypox is something else going on there that, well,
By Snoo Snoo!
No, sound guy. It is not death by snoo snoo. It's most distinctly, and it could be said, it is definitely, yeah, the monkeypox is definitely, it's a different animal, as it were. But yeah, it's not in the straight community, which is why they're not declaring it a pandemic. If it was in a straight community, they'd be screaming, hooping, and hollering about, oh no, we have to lock down everything. But because it's one of their protected classes, read like those not in the straight community. That's why. Yeah. Joe Kaka found out the hard way that some things don't work exactly how you think they do. And Joe Kaka found out that the Supreme Court can slap him upside the butt. No, it was even better than that. I mean, there was well, how do I describe this without describing this?
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Yeah, he got just, I don't know about that one, but he got oh yeah. Yeah, he got well. Joe got it. Supreme Court rocks the nation with a 5-4 decision. Biden's policy on deporting immigrants just got frozen. Translation: you can toss out the guys jumping over the fence now. For now. And it's, it's a temporary injunction, call it what you will, this, that, and the other thing, blah, blah, blah. This one I thought was very, very interesting. And I got to be really, really careful on how I phrase this. Otherwise, YouTube will go, you're imparting not great information, and we're going to give you the slap down because you're talking about stuff that, well, you're talking about the okay, so essentially what it is they're saying that the and we're talking about receiving the that sound effect is known as the 44 Magnum shot. So receiving the 44 Magnum shot of the we're talking about receiving the, that's what we're talking about. So they're saying that Donald Trump, when he was president, did not receive the traditional, you got to go and get the, the mainstream version. Well, what he actually got was not the standard. No, what he got was hydrochloroquine, ivermectin, azithromycin, doxycycline, and zinc. So that's what the president received at the time in which he was ill with, now he's not saying whether it was good, bad, or otherwise. I'm simply reading that medication of which he took of the, that was the, that he received. So if you're going to get the, if you're going to get that and you have the executive office, you could say, look, I don't want to get, the one that basically they're foisting on everybody else. Doc, what do you think? And the doc goes, well, we could give you this version or that version of the, and he's like, yeah, but what else is out there? They're like, well, there's also hydrochloroquine, there's ivermectin, azithromycin, doxycycline, and obviously zinc. those are out there. I mean, those are mainstream medications. We're not saying whether they do or don't work. However, it is a treatment option. And Trump said, you know what? That's the one I'm getting. So he did not receive any form of the gene version of the he got the traditional medication. Excuse me, I gotta crank my fan on here. All right, so now running and gunning. Wife is saying, do I want something from Wawa? Hang on one second here. I'm actually texting her as I'm doing this with a pop-up. Okay. All right, so Pedro River says, I don't know what we're gonna do when the Quaker Pox comes out. Oh, Quacker Pox. Oh, Quacker Pox. Yeah, don't get him started, man. You know, we'll be doing standard stuff. Next thing you know, he'll be starting up with this stupid quack stuff. And you know, it's gonna get old, okay? Let's see. Scrolly. Sound guy. I got just the sound effect for you. You dick. Exactly. So stop with the quacks, okay? I mean, there's plenty of other reasons to just, you know. This is the stuff I got to live with, okay? All right, he gets in a groove. All right, just don't get him started. In the room there, you guys were going on about, like, you know, obviously other things that could be encountering us. I do find it interesting though that they said his shot was the not good one. You should get the gene therapy version. I think it's personal choice, and you know that's really what it comes down to is personal choice. I don't like the fact this stuff is stuffed down your throat. You got to take these versions of blah, blah, blah because they are the most profitable for the drug companies that make them. I don't like that. I don't know if you got caught up on this one or not, but our leader of the free world, we're talking about nobody other than no, we're talking about President. That's right. So President, can I get a word in edgewise there, sound guy? Thank you. All right. So President Kaka is He's real. I think he's been drinking too much coffee today. That's the problem. All right. So anyway, Biden, of course, came down with, the various strain they're in. And obviously he's had many of the bangs here, Australian gypsies. He's had many of the, the communist Chinese communist covert viral infection bangs. He has had many bangs. So he shouldn't have to worry about the well, supposedly he's got it again. So they say that he's been behind the scenes and he's been, quote unquote, quite busy. But the public schedule has been empty for days. And of course, obviously his team are trying to cover and just say, he's got a lot of things to do. I say simply keep the dummy dumb and let the dumbass don't be dumb in public. That's how you fix that problem. I don't know if you heard about this one or not, but I'm going to have to pull this one out of the wayside. But this is going to go way back, way back to Saturday Night Live days where obviously somebody would say something stupid. And now it's like I got a popped up icon. The wife would basically, chuckle at the same time period because we're both kids watching at the time, Saturday Night Live, talking to Mrs. Dude, of course. And it was usually a case where Jane Curtin would say something And Dan Aykroyd would, of course, have the interesting retort. She would say something, and he would look at her and go, "Jane, you ignorant slut." That just, even as a little kid, I found that absolutely just uproariously hilarious. Even though I didn't know what a slut was, but it just sounded good. Just give me 1 second here. Anyway, I'm going to say the worst liberal skank suckfest on Turner Broadcast System, the TV show also known as Full Frontal, run by the skank also known as Leftard Screaming Mimi-ite Elite, formerly working for, of all people, Conan O'Brien as one of the writers, but Screaming Mimi-ite Samantha Bee has lost her show. And it's pretty much gone by the wayside, and she is no longer on the broadcast airwaves. Okay, he does that when I start lapsing into this almost kind of Rush Limbaugh style of speaking mannerisms. And I'm not Rush, praise be, may have a good time upstairs. But he does that. He does that to remind me that I'm not Rush. Okay. Well, anyway. But anyway, this skank, Samantha Bee. Yeah, I know. Patriot Fever. Truly, he does. She is like the screamingest, whiningest, just obnoxious most person. Oh no. She's worse than Quack. Okay, she is worse than Quack. How could you describe her appropriately? How could you say correctly? How would you say this? How could you say it, but not say it? She gets on the airwaves and this episode of Full Frontal consists of terribly moderated, harsh, obnoxious things that nobody should ever be watching on modern TV. We're talking about bad girls. It could be said that pretty much, man, she can make a showing on that show, and they would say, "Oh yeah, chase her down, put her butt in jail because she definitely broke the law of reason." Yuck. Samantha Bee, Full Frontal. Let me give you a full salute here. Bye bye. She's fun in the same way it's fun to use a fleshlight filled with stingers of a 20 banks. Wow. Yeah, fleshlight filled with scorpions. Oh, man. I don't think I've heard about this one or not. This one's rather interesting. PatriotJournal.com. The GOP did an internal polling. And this is no great surprise, folks. No great surprise. But they revealed a landslide winner. Almost 79% of the attendees said they want Donald Trump back in 2024. Quote, plenty of people have speculated on GOP's 2024 nominee. In recent months, some folks have claimed Trump's chances are slim. Yeah, I wonder if that's on the right or on the left, or is it going to be the Mitch McConnell rhinoite suck-up guys in the GOP who just want to be there? Not that they really want to make any difference. They just want to be there. Are they trying to fix anything? No. They just want to be on board to get their graft and potentially have their lobbying positions once they get out of doing public service. Folks, they're not getting out of public service, okay? Believe that. When somebody goes into office and one of those type of things, they don't want to go. They don't want to leave. They really like the fact that they have tons and tons and tons of graft, all kinds of spiffy things to bounce up and, hit them in the back pocket. Of course, everything gets good. There's no problems at all. Those guys get in, and it is amazing what somebody spends that kind of money to build the reputation that sucks. And really, truly, they only really, truly do it so they have an inside thing. So they get into office, they stay there for 30 to 40 years. And they made cake in the process. Could be said that these guys get in office really, truly only to self-embolden themselves and to self-enrich themselves. So they're doing it really only for self. Mostly people like Elon Musk and Joe Rogan, historically liberals, have put forward the name of GOP Governor Ron DeSantis. Now, I would not mind DeSantis sitting in the White House. However, I think it'd be a good transition to basically run Trump in there for one term. Maybe possibly a term and a half where he goes, you know what? I'm going to shift out, but I'm going to bring somebody in. And he makes DeSantis the leader of the Congress. Translation, third in line by succession. So you have president, vice president, leader of the Congress. That is the legion of succession they're in. And good stuff like that could have happened. But I would like to see Trump serve one more term. If nothing else, just to hang on a second. I got to find the appropriate sound effect here. I'm going to say something really, really caustic. But he needs to go in so he can shut the liberals the cuck up. Yeah, so he can go in office and shut the liberals the cuck up. Because they know they have completely cucked up everything. And they are full of it. So you guys know what I'm saying in the first part of those words, and the beep covered up the first part of those words. I think we're all good in that regard. Can be said most emblematically, though, that if he does get back in, all this January 6th stuff is going to be seen for the farcical knowledge that it is. Potentially Steve Bannon will just get, he'll get pardoned in like the first 5 seconds of Trump sitting in the White House. And it'll be a case of now chasing down all these leftard troublemakers who caused this to begin with in the first place. And this whole thing about storming the Capitol and all the rest of the insurrection and sedition and all the rest of this crap. If you want to talk about sedition and insurrection, that's what the DNC has been doing for the last 70 to 90 years. And I will get it right. Woodrow Wilson started this crap. So carrying on from him, packing the Supreme Court, putting in all kinds of unconstitutional regulations, and major overstep, just completely leaping over the 10th Amendment and making sure that the states don't have as much power as they should, and advocating it to the federal government, which really shouldn't have that kind of power. Anyway, scroll. From Fox News, Tampa, Florida, former President Donald Trump dominated the 2024 GOP presidential nomination straw poll at the Turning Point USA Student Action Summit Sunday, Fox News has learned. So the TP USA polled conference attendees. Martina Sasquatch, I got to say the same thing. TP USA polled conference attendees. Youth activists from around the country said they were voting for in 2024 if Trump decided to launch another White House run. 78.7 attendees said they would vote for Trump. And like Martina Sasquatch just said in the room, the red flag laws are bad. They need to get hauled back majorly. There's no way in the world that somebody just goes, oh, I don't like the way that he said so-and-so, and really, truly, he's just really, really mean. So we think that really he should just be disarmed. No. You.
Juggling thunder.
That one's not good. Let me go with this one.
I'm juggling thunder.
Yeah, that one's perfect. That one's it. But yeah, he needs to get the hell away from the red flag laws because they are just bad juju, and I am not a fan. Scroll. Oh, this one in my stars. Oh, stars and garters. This one could potentially just be a political career move of That's right. We have somebody who really truly brings out the crowds. Sound guy. No, she does. No, she does. She brings out crowds.
You're despicable.
No, she's despicable. Okay. Please Please let this ditzy socialist moron run against Trump, please. They're now positing the notion that a former Clinton advisor is making a stunning AOC prediction. Don't count her out for a run in 2024. I got to do it, folks. Thor's hammer. I got to do it. Please. Please run this stupid skank. Oh, my stars and garters. You want to talk about somebody eating her lunch, cleaning her clock, and just chewing her a new one. It is going to be Donald Trump versus her, and she will get only... No, she's not going to get snoo. She is going to get more than a little bit of... Oh, she is going to get full on. Just... Would you stop with the ding, okay? Stop. Yeah, she's going to get some of that, okay? And it's going to be... You done? Are you done now? Okay, I think he's done. I think when you start seeing the voting results and she's sitting in the room somewhere and looking at the computer screen or looking at the TV monitor and just going, will the reality of it take hold and she'll realize you lost? Yeah, you're down. What was that? Correction, Darth. Yeah, I really truly would love to see her running up against, DJT. Okay, this is one of those stories that shows the complete and total lack of judgment, lack of personal responsibility, complete and total just blasé way in which Democrats do stuff. The Democrat Wisconsin Senate Minority Leader, I got to find her name. That is, hang on a second, I got a stupid little pop-up here. Let's see, that is Janet Bewley. So Bewley. So Wisconsin Senate Democrat Minority Leader Janet Bewley. Well, she was involved in a fatal crash on Friday that left a mother from Pennsylvania and her young daughter dead. So the accident occurred when Bewley, 70, pulled out in Maslowski's Beach parking lot in Ashland into the path of a car driven by Alyssa Ortman, age of 27, according to the Ashland Police Department. When Ortman's car collided with Bewley's at 12:30 p.m. on Friday, broad daylight, mind you, it spun across Highway 2 and was hit by another vehicle. That's not the end of it, folks. Ortman's 5-year-old daughter, Kaylee, was pronounced dead at the scene. Ortman was transported to the local hospital where she later died. This is not the part of the story that completely blanking sucks. Mere hours after the crash, a previously scheduled interview, Bewley told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel intern she had undergone cataract eye surgery the day before. Kaylee's father, Brandon Fink, wrote an emotional Facebook post paying tribute to his daughter he described as a hilarious, insanely beautiful, and smart girl that had a drive for life that touched so many. In a post on Monday afternoon, Fink wrote that Bewley had not reached out to him about the accident. Of course she won't. She's a Democrat. She doesn't claim responsibility. So the Ashland Police Chief, Bill Hagstrom, told the Ashland Daily Press that Bewley wasn't injured in the crash and the State Patrol was reconstructing the scene. No charges have been filed yet. However, we'll be sitting down with him, going everything as far as determining how it all actually happened, Hagstrom said. Then we'll forward everything to the district attorney for their review because it is a fatal accident. Authorities have said they also don't suspect foul play in the accident. Oh, so they said no, don't suspect foul play. So she was a clinical medical assistant for the past 4 years, worked at a, place in the Link Hair Company, this, that, and the other thing. So anyway, they did an interview with this Bewley chick, and they said she fell silent mid-sentence during the phone interview after revealing that the cataract surgery she'd received Thursday, just the day before the fatal wreck. When asked by the interviewer if she was okay, Bewley says she was, but sounded shaken. Quote, "Yeah, I'm okay," she said. "This was not a good accident," end quote. According to the Mayo Clinic and American Optometric Association, patients are often advised not to drive for at least 24 hours following the procedure, which involves removing the natural lens of the eye and replacing it with an artificial lens. Some doctors have even suggested not getting behind a wheel until the patient receives a go-ahead in a follow-up appointment. In a statement about the wreck on Monday, Bewley's office made no mention of the cataract surgery. Quote, "This is a heartbreaking event for the community. Our thoughts and prayers are focused on the individuals involved, their families, and their loved ones," the statement said. She needs to be up on negligent homicide, if not manslaughter. She killed 2 people. At the very least, she needs to be up for some serious negligence charges. She drove after eye surgery. That's not like a little, I'm going to, put a couple stitches in your face because you cut yourself or something like that. This is directly stuff that you have to actualize your brain to, okay? It's not like you basically put on a new pair of glasses and you're like, yep, let's go drive, in the Monaco Grand Prix because I can handle like shifting distances and stuff. If you switch up anything with your eyes, especially at the age of 70, it will take you a minimum of a few days just for your brain to go, okay, the focus is different, man. She killed those 2 people, okay? Killed. Could she have gotten a ride with somebody else or even, I don't know, something crazy like, called an Uber? Oh my, she really could have done these things. Did she? No. She killed 2 people. Both of them pretty much in the prime of life. This is one of those things that really needs to have happen. And, of course, there's another thing coming in from Trump. And he says, Trump reveals a plan to rid the country of the deep state. And essentially what it is referring to Schedule F executive order, which requires agency heads to provide lists of employees who have roles influencing policy, and then moving these employees to category Schedule F in order to eliminate employment protection. In other words, in an effort to help drain the swamp, Schedule F would allow him to fire the swamp, something he said would be able to do if he was reelected in 2024. So all the Biden carryovers, all the Obama carryovers, and all the other carryovers that really are entrenched, who are not elected officials and do stuff policy-wise that directly affect you, me, and everybody else in the United States as an unelected official with absolutely nothing in terms of worry because they know they can't get hit canned. Actually, hang on a second. I can fix that. So they know they're not going to get hit canned. Yeah, I fixed that one. So yeah, that piece of crap, he really, truly just, in whatever agency causing mayhem, they just need to get trashed, okay? They just need to get thrown out, and they just need to get tossed. Thanks, sound guy. Okay, what the hell was that supposed to be? Put it together. I'm telling you, he pounded probably the largest cup of coffee in the office, and he's now running amok. Okay, that's all I got. That's all I got. There's no other way to make any sense of it other than simply state it for what it is. And He's doing it. He's doing it. Okay, he's doing it. Oh, my stars and garters, he's doing it. Oh man, is he doing it? I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not. This one is kind of one of those insidious little things that most people really, truly don't even blanking think about. But I can tell you for a fact, there is no way in the world I would ever have a device made in China as my standard transmission cell phone device. And that's the other thing too, is actually, I do actually look at who made the smartphones that I buy, who made the tablets that I utilize, who made the computer that I use, phones, microphones, cameras, all this technology. People tend to forget that all that little stupid Snoopy stuff is always in the background. Swishpa, what's happening? Standard podcast, brother. Hang out and check out the scene. Appreciate you hanging out. But anyway, this one's coming in also from PatriotAlert.com, and they say specifically, Chinese cell technology is a threat to American national security. So going into it, quote, there are certain things that protect us Americans, the world's most powerful economy, at least it was, thanks Brandon, the world's most powerful military, our strategic position in terms of being bordered by vast oceans on the east and west. It would be very difficult, if not impossible, to invade the United States. Well, no, it's even worse than that. If you try to invade the United States, the largest standing military on the face of this earth, including what China has to offer, is going to be basically the offerings of the hunters of 3 American states. You probably have somewhere in the order of 30 to 50 million people ready to round out any damn time at all while hanging out in the tree, zapping Bambi, and ready to do the deed. No law, no unelected government head of department or agency be served and said to expel only 6 years. Yeah, I hope that's the case there, Patriot Fever. It's very difficult, not possible to invade the United States. Okay, let's not forget about advanced technology. We're able to intercept most any airbound threats, missiles included, and mostly neutralize them before they reach our shores. In short, we are bulletproof almost. In a scenario that comes straight out of Hollywood spy movies, when Hollywood made up a good spy movie, China appears to be making a sly move that could potentially disrupt our nuclear arsenal. Let's check with Outkick for the shocking details. A bombshell report paints a dark picture of China's capabilities to disrupt America's nuclear arsenal. The FBI has recently determined that Chinese-produced Huawei tech and cellular equipment is, quote, capable of capturing and disrupting highly restricted Defense Department communications, including those used by U.S. Strategic Command, which oversees the country's nuclear weapons, end quote. Okay, so all this Huawei stuff, Huawei, whatever, how the hell you say it, but Huawei, Huawei. I'm not going to try to say it right because I don't speak Chinese. Screw them assholes. So basically what it is they have technology built into the servers, the cell phones, the this, the that, all that stuff that we dumbassedly bought and installed in our infrastructure to go, yeah, we need a whiz bang to stick into this hole in the whatever it is to make this thing work from here to there to the next thing from here to there until ever they all talk to each other. So Huawei putting that stuff in there in technology that was, we didn't know it was there. Dude, it's very easy to see the Chinese for what the Chinese are. The Chinese are a bunch of duplicitous, sneaking, lying assholes who will do anything to step on you and take you over and do it into some duplicitous means that you never ever should do business with them. Case in point, Apple says, hey, can you make cheap phones for us? And China's like, sure. What are they doing? Backwards engineering the technology and making, something that looks like an Apple, sounds like an Apple, but it's not called an Apple, but it's sold in China for about half the price. Yeah. And it works on their network. And of course, everything that happens in China is owned by the CCP or the Chinese Communist Party, or has to be interacted by the CCP, because you cannot do anything without the government being directly involved, because it is a communist enterprise that only allows you to live and breathe. Remember that, folks, because potentially it's snooping on you, it's stashing your information, and the dirty little secret is the Chinese will just store that stuff until later, at which such time that it serves their evil devices, literally. I don't know if you heard about this one or not. This one coming from RepublicanDaily.com. A Yale professor absolutely roasted, and I do mean flat out, completely roasted Joe Kaka about the fact that he now has the Chinese Communist covert viral infection. So a Yale medical professor blasts Biden on the Chinese Communist covert viral infection. That's right. If you're not aware, Joe Biden has the Chinese Communist covert viral infection. But what many may not know is he's practicing white supremacy. That is, according to a well-credentialed doctor. This gets funny, folks. Trust me on this one. As reported by Twitchy, Dr. Kim Sue took to Twitter this week to wax on the White House business as usual. According to the PhD recipient, the president is running on racism. It's funny when they eat their own, folks. On July 22nd, Dr. Kim claims as follows, quote, Biden sets a bad example for everyone that he cannot rest. Hang on a second. It's serious. Symptoms debilitating for many, and people should take time off without working through it. And the entry began with a bang. POTUS is working while having epitomizes white supremacy urgency in the workplace. It's an interesting idea, but not a new one. Author says, as I noted earlier this month, Oregon's Equity and Inclusion Agency, oh, what a communist sounding thing is that, was scheduled to meet with two partner groups in the public. The conference was ultimately postponed, and the official reason was rousing. Excuse me. Thank you for your interest in attending the community conversation between regional health equity coalitions, or the RHECS, and community advisory councils, the CACs, to discuss the community investment collaboratives, CICs. Well, we recognize that urgency is a white supremacy value that can get in the way of more intentional and thoughtful work, and we want to attend to this dynamic. Therefore, we will reach out at a later date to reschedule. Oh, man. I cannot do this justice, folks. It just goes on and on with this type of stuff. White supremacy culture.info confirms KK-ish urgency. Quote, sacrifices of the races the potential of other modes of knowing and wisdom that require more time, embodied, intuitive, spiritual. Encourages shame, guilt, and self-righteousness to manipulate decision-making. Reproduces either or thinking because of the stated need to reach decisions quickly. Involves unrealistic expectations on about how much you can get done in a period of time. Linked with the perfectionism, the urgency of perfectionism, creates that we try to make sure that something's done perfectly according to our standards. Isn't that like basically you having honor and duty and trying to do stuff the best that you can? That's whiteness? Wow. And the guy says, as I wrote at the time, the Smithsonian's on board is labeled viewing time as, quote, as a commodity and as a sign of, quote unquote, whiteness. It's even more complex, but the museum also deems delayed gratification as putridly pale. God, these people, they are the most self-hating, vindictive, miserable sacks of yet ever on planet Earth. Oh, my stars and garters. Okay, I got to get back to this Trump stuff because okay, you know what this is? This is a communist means of devaluing somebody's notoriety by saying, oh, they're this, they're that, blah, 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 all these horrible things about them. Then they have the fake trials that really is a hugely Russian communist thing. Do they really say that there's anything inherently bad about the guy? No, but what they do is they simply just try to undercut him in every way possible to try to make him look unworthy of the position, to make the rest of the guys look so absolutely just blatantly horrible that everybody's on the same level. You know, I've always heard that argument from Democrats too. Oh, everybody does it. Oh, yeah, they're all guilty of some charge, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, Well, if they're all guilty of some charge and they're unworthy of the position, why the bleep are you putting them in that position? Really, if they're that bad, why are you getting them into a leadership position? If they're that unworthy, why don't you find somebody who's worthy? Quote, so going into the article now. Every day it sounds more and more like President Donald Trump is going to run for a second term in 2024. According to multiple legacy media outlets, here, links, he will announce his bid for the White House in the next 45 days. That's not by accident. This creates a situation that is not favorable to Liz Cheney's aberrant fantasies about roosting in the White House and has set the bowels of the establishment and Vichy Republicans a-bubbling. The New York Post, reportedly President Trump's favorite newspaper, has come out swinging against the idea of President Trump running again, using the clownish, quote-unquote, January 6th committee proceedings as a starting point. The New York Post goes on to declare, but as a matter of principle, as a matter of character, Trump has proven himself unworthy to be this country's chief executive again. You ever notice that thing about Democrats where it's always like, you're not guilty or innocent of it. It's the seriousness of the charge. Oh, he's a blah, blah, blah. Well, have you seen him doing that? No, but we say he's a so-and-so. Say he's a blatant so-and-so. The most fake, vacant, lying, duplicitous, just back-ass-words pieces of bleep ever. If there was ever a situation where I really, truly wanted to cuss, today's that day. Battle lines for 2024 is shaping up to be uncomfortably similar to those that appeared in 2016. Significant number of the never Trump types from 2016 never reconciled themselves to President Trump in the White House. More will crawl out of the swamp to oppose his run in 2024 based on what President Trump will do if elected. I don't know. Drain the swamp. Maybe get us from being financially ruinous. Maybe get our country to be self-supporting it again. Completely petroleum independent. I could run down the list of about 50 bazillion different things that were on path until Joe Kaka got in office and said, oh no, we can't do that. That's just too much fun. We have to make everything horrible. I know, I'm going to keep banging my head into the wall until I come up with something better. Oh yeah, I got an idea. I'm going to shut off the petroleum. Just, Joe, you stupid, just, yeah. Even though Mitch McConnell promises that it will be a crowded field in 2024, I think that's bunk. Mitch McConnell, question. This is on C-SPAN. Quote, if Donald Trump launches another run for president, how will you handle that? Will you oppose his candidacy? Will you stay neutral? Later, McConnell. I think we're going to have a crowded field for president. I assume that most of it will unfold later. Translation, I ain't got a bleeping thing to say about it because I know I'm going to look like a total... Hang on a second. I got this, sound guy. If I say anything that sounds completely snarky in the slightest, people are just going to say,
You dick.
that's right. McConnell.
Dick. You dick.
I don't like him anyway.
You dick.
Yeah. Crowded field for president.
You dick.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
Yeah, he's just
You dick.
yeah. Speaker McConnell.
You dick.
I just should make that a soundbite. Mitch McConnell.
You dick.
Yeah, I should just have him like being announced, going Mitch McConnell,
You dick.
because he is a
Dick.
complete and total,
Dick.
like, not even like, worthy of the namesake, but just
You dick.
what a total,
Dick.
yeah, not a fan. No one other than President Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis are polling in double digits, barring something unlikely like President Trump not being merely indicted but convicted of a federal crime, that is unlikely to change. At best, as a two-man race, if President Trump does not declare his candidacy in the next couple of months, it might be a one-man race. And no, I can't imagine a set of facts that would persuade DeSantis to run second banana on a Trump-DeSantis ticket. Vice president isn't a springboard to presidency. It is a waiting room for presidential obscurity. If you eliminate the death or resignation of president, George Bush was the first vice president to be elected in his own right since Martin Van Buren. And you know what? I really got to say, George Herbert Walker Bush,
You dick.
I did not like 43, I think it was 41. 41. I did not like 41. I would say,
You dick.
read my lips. No more.
Dick.
No, sound guy. No. It was not no more.
Dick.
It was no more no new taxes, okay? I very seriously doubt at his stage of the game, being like latter 70s, he was going, hey, you want some new?
Dick.
No, he was not saying you want new.
Dick.
Would you stop?
Dick. Dick.
He gets on something and he just will not stop. Just won't. That's a new one, folks. Yeah. Penn Jillette doing the quack. He gets in the editing room, folks, okay? He just gets in there and, Are you done now? Are you done? Because you're being a
Dick.
yeah, exactly. You're being a
Dick.
yeah, exactly. Stop. Just stop. Anyway, bottom line, if President Trump wants the nomination in 2024, I think logic dictates that he wins. Logic dictates that he wins. Given the damage Democrats have inflicted upon the nation, there isn't a Democrat with national stature who beats President Trump. This brings me back to 2016. People like the New York Post who are logging themselves in opposing a Trump 2024 candidacy are consigning themselves into residing in the monkeypox ward with the staff of the Lincoln Project. Now, those are the guys who said, basically Trump was unworthy, and I cannot do it justice, folks. I really can't. But that was, the whole Lincoln Project guys. Let's see if I can't find the quote. Whatever. Anyway, so it gets better, folks. I mean, these guys are literally twisting themselves in nuts, trying to stop this stuff, and there's no good way for them to beat themselves out of this mess, of which they got themselves into, but they do it to themselves. They just do. Speaking of do it to themselves, Disney owns Hulu, okay? If you guys didn't know that, Disney owns Hulu. So it's quite possible that Disney, in an effort to not further be targeted by political battles, wants to avoid controversy about restricting what ads can be placed on streaming service Hulu, which the company bought in 2019. It's also possible that Democrats are trying to run ads that are so misleading that even Hulu, which has its share of woke, was not entirely successful content, could bring themselves to run them. To be honest, it really doesn't matter. Regardless of the reason why Hulu won't run the ads, Democrats are furious that Hulu has declined to run several of them as a run-up to the November midterms. Yeah. These guys are really just twisting themselves in knots, folks. I cannot do this justice. But like I said, that whole Lincoln thing, and I can read you the Lincoln quote here. This is in the next one here. But what it is hilarious is because the Lincoln Project made this comment about Trump and accidentally swiped back at Biden because somebody was being snarky on Twitter. I cannot do this justice, folks. But it's hilarious. It's like the Lincoln Project, it has a blue check mark. At Project Lincoln, July 23, 2022. Quote, Trump is simply the worst America has to offer and is a danger to democracy. End quote. Okay, let me just put a pin in that for 1 second here. The United States is not a democracy. We are a representative republic. We are not a democracy at all. So anyway, they said that little snarky thing, Trump's simply the worst American has to offer, danger to democracy, blah, blah, blah. And then some other guy came in here, it's like 6 words. Have you seen the current guy? Oh, man. The current guy matters not to the TDS riddled amongst us. Wow. I cannot do it justice, folks, but it goes on and on and on from there. I don't know if you guys remember this guy or not, but I got to be really charitable here. But how do I say this without saying this? Whiny. How do I say this without saying this? I got it. California, San Francisco, tweet variety. Yeah, probably very light in the loafers. Anti-gun maggot changed that first letter to another letter to describe what he really is. David Hogg was tossed for being a little biatch. There was a congressional hearing, and the thing about it is that was really cool about this congressional hearing is one of the guys literally made sure that everybody knew what was going on there. There was 4 signboards behind him. On every single signboard was one word: shall not be infringed. So we can really know what this guy was trying to infer with the Second Amendment on that one. But David Hogg, read like, whiny little maggot, during a Wednesday congressional hearing held by House Judiciary Committee on banning so-called assault weapons, gun control activist David Hogg had to be escorted. No, he wasn't escorted. Literally, the guard grabbed him by the arm, was like, 180 degrees, and was like, blank, 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 blank. Out the door you go. And then the whole time he's like, and this, that, and the other thing. And the other time, sir. I could not do it justice. It was the biggest wine fest ever. I'm trying to impart my knowledge upon you that you understand how bad things are for people that get assaulted by these weapons. I've never had one jump off a table and attack me. That defines assault. I don't think I was caught up in this one or not, but Joe Kaka.
Oh my.
Joe Kaka strikes again in such a brilliant statement that he could possibly be making. Yeah, Joe Kaka.
Ew.
Joe Kaka announced he had cancer, a series of the 25th Amendment. He had skin cancer, folks. It was cured, but immediately, he's saying stupid stuff. So coming in again, this one coming in from truthpress.com. Joe Biden just dropped the biggest bombshell in presidential history. Either that, he just dropped his biggest gaffe. It's probably the latter, as we'll discuss, but we're not sure what makes things any better. While speaking in Massachusetts on Wednesday, the president claimed to have, quote unquote, cancer. Would you stop with the dun-dun? Citing supposed oil slicks in the windows of cars. Apparently being exposed to oil residue as a child gives you cancer later in life? I don't know. None of what he says in the following clip makes sense, and it's best to just take it for what it is. Then coming in from townhall.com, Biden says his mother used the windshield wipers to, quote, literally get the oil slick off the window, end quote, is, quote, why I have and so damn many other people have cancer, end quote. All right, well, let's just put this in perspective there, Joe Kaka. Even electric cars use petroleum. Electric cars need grease on the wheels, they need oil in the motors, and they need to have some other form of some other stuff to make stuff work. Because, brakes use brake fluid. Obviously, there's other fluids in the vehicles to make them function. So oil on the windshield gives you cancer. I'm sure oil in the windshield is like stuff that washes off the car as you're driving, not going in and you're going, hang on a second, let me run my finger. That's tasty windshield flavor. That's good. So the other funny thing about it is, of course, that I cannot even begin to tell you, folks, is how fast the White House staff are like, no. He doesn't have cancer. He had cancer. So he does not currently have cancer. He had cancer, and it was something along the lines of, it was skin cancer, and it was served. You know, a lot of older people get skin cancer from sun exposure. It's that the other thing. We believe it was not from oil, and he probably misspoke. Translation, Joe, Bubby, Joe, shut the up before you do something really, really lame and actually impart something that really, truly you didn't mean to do. Please, Joe, just, really, just, really, you need to, yeah, just quiet. Don't talk anymore. Just stop, please, for the love of God, stop. Oh man, cannot do it justice, but that's just how it is, folks. I'm still in kind of like, you know, the rough parts of like, you know, recovering and, you know, still coughing up, obviously, all kinds of yummies. In the process of doing that, I'm actually kind of really surprised I actually made it through with this, but I truly appreciate your kind of attention. You guys hanging out with me today. Decided to go for at least an hour. I'm at an hour, and I'm going to break up with this one, folks, and I truly appreciate your kind of attention. Then you got many other things to do on this Tuesday, and I thank you so much for hanging out with me. Those people in the room making commentary, those people hanging out outside the room, those people coming by the view later on. Obviously, the video will be up in review, and obviously, I'm going to be looking a little strange because you're looking at me on my camera phone as opposed to my normal standard thing, which would be, you know, the computer camera and stuff like that. I do actually still I'm playing around using the new home build 1T Note 9. So if this looks completely jacked up and not great on YouTube, I actually have a backup copy of which to apply thusly, and it'll look probably just a little bit better. Of course, it'll be, you know, at least high def, and we'll move out smartly on that one. I know probably I do need to make an upgrade, and I hate to say this phrase, but I might actually have to get, like, you know, a backup Apple phone. Yeah, I actually might have to get a backup Apple phone which to do video with. I'm not going to use it as a phone per se, but as a video unit, Apple units are actually pretty hard to beat, man. Apple phones have really, really good cameras. I mean, I know the Google Pixels are, you know, really, really good too, and they tend to be cheaper, but I'm not giving Google any more of my information than I absolutely positively have to. And every time I look at anything on Google, it's like, yep, not turned on, not doing it, not saving, not backlogged. Your history is not working. All these things are turned off. And I committed to it. Just turn all that crap off. Google still works perfectly fine. And you don't need them having, remembering, and knowing about every single thing that you've ever done on the internet. Don't do it, okay? So I'm going to break up on this one, folks. Equal Cape 10 rings, as always, you know you love it. And appreciate your kind attentions. And you guys get a gold star for attendance. Catch you guys next week and good stuff like that there. And I will see you next time. Catch you guys later, and I'll break off with this one. See you guys, and see you later. See you guys. Hopefully I can find the button on this thing.